Hey, what's up, guys? All right, so I got a question here from Sharik, and Sharik is struggling with a few things in his life. So he says, Dear John, as I've mentioned before, I have encountered depression, general anxiety, and suffered from short attention span, low confidence, and self-esteem. Okay, that's quite a bit of things here. So he says depression, anxiety, short attention span, low confidence, self-esteem. So a lot of things, these things they actually go together. A lot of this, okay? There's usually a root cause. And so I think a lot of people that are watching this will probably say, hey, that's me. That's the same thing, right? And I have been in this place as well. So just to let you know, you're not alone here. All right. I've tried treating these with depression medications as well as therapy. And finally, transcranial magnetic stimulation. Okay. So he's tried a lot of things. All right. And these are not the solutions, right, guys? You know, medication and maybe some therapy, but the solutions is how you change your mindset, okay? But let's get into this. So he says, while those have worked to an extent, it was back to status quo a few months later, okay? I am stuck in an endless Groundhog Day-like cycle, okay? Again, a lot of people here, all right? I have this habit of accumulating and watching material, including your books, your video courses, and YouTube videos that pump me up and make me start to work on getting myself stronger and fitter physically, mentally, and emotionally, but predictably, I run out of steam and find myself back at square one looking for the next magic bullet. I have also noticed that when it comes to learning material, unlike others who are able to gain knowledge by interacting with fellow students and our coworkers, I'm only able to learn material I read from books and or videos. I don't consider myself a dummy, but I do have habits that have impeded my learning big time, and I feel stuck in an endless / vicious loop / cycle of anger, depression, and frustration. Your videos always perk me up and give me hope each day. I tell myself that tomorrow things will change, but it's the same thing the very next day, and the day after, and the day after. Of late, I feel resigned to my fate and ask myself what my legacy has been. It's not a good situation. Any suggestions? So I've got a couple of things here. First of all, I want to say this, and I said this before, you're not alone. This is common, okay? What you're describing is not something out of the ordinary. Now, with that said, I want to say this as well, is that you're not special, okay? You're not a special little snowflake. And I don't mean this to be harsh. I'm not saying this to be harsh to you, dude. What I'm saying this is because I want you to understand the reason why you're believing you have these problems is you think you're different, okay? You said that unlike others who are able to gain knowledge by interacting with fellow students and our coworkers, I'm only able to learn material from books and videos. That's not true. That's a limiting belief. It's bullshit. It's not true. You can't hold on to these beliefs. See, right now, a lot of your problem is you think that there's something wrong with you that's different than everyone else, and that you're in some way a special little snowflake. Again, I'm not trying to insult you, my friend. I'm trying to help you out, but I want to be honest with you about the truth here. And the truth here is, yes, you may have some issues with depression and social anxiety and, short attention span, low confidence, self-esteem. Everyone does, okay? But that doesn't make it so that there's something defective or wrong with you. I did a video on this. It was this guy that was talking about being diagnosed with all this crap, and the psychologist, and it was bullshit because there's nothing fucking wrong with you. So it's the same exact advice I would give you here, which is there's nothing fucking wrong with you. No, I mean, there's something wrong with all of us, right? And you've got the same thing. Now, there are different people that are on different levels that have overcome the things that you can overcome. But what I'm saying is that intrinsically, there's nothing wrong with you. And you have to believe this. Even if there were something wrong with you, you should believe that there's nothing wrong with you, right? I've given this example before, and I'll give it to you again, which is if I had a son, let's say, that had one leg, okay? And I would tell him, I would raise him in such a way to say, no, you've got two legs, motherfucker. Like, I would teach him that there's nothing different, that there's nothing that makes him less, that there's nothing that makes him less disabled. I would tell him to run races. I would not give him any kind of sympathy or empathy for having the one leg, because I would want him to believe that he's just as good, that this is not an excuse, that this is not a handicap in life, and that you're not going to let this hold you back. And this is the healthy mindset to have. This is the Bulldog mindset, because it says that whatever the fuck happens, whatever kind of handicaps that you might have in life, That's bullshit. You're going to use it to an advantage. You're going to change what other people's perceptions are, and your perception is going to be that this is an advantage. This is something that's going to help me exceed and excel in life, right? So that's the key thing here. First of all, stop this bullshit. Stop this pity party. Fucking stop it. You've got problems just like everyone else, and these problems can be overcome. The depression can be overcome. The general anxiety can be overcome. The short attention span can be overcome. Trust me, I did a video on what is it? On ADHD, and how I've been diagnosed with it, and I've overcome it, right? And you can overcome it, for sure. You're watching my videos, that's great. You're buying my books, my courses, they pump you up. You gotta stick with it. That's the thing, is you gotta be committed. And I've done videos, I've told you guys about working without motivation. I think I should be pointing this way. We'll have to see. I think this is where the Rodrigo will help me out and tell me, no, John, you need to point this way, because I think this is where the cards are going to be. But there's always links in the description as well. You've got to follow through, and you've got to keep on going. You know, you can't say that there's something wrong with you and that's why you run out of steam. Everyone runs out of steam. Fuck, I run out of steam, okay, all the time, and I have to push through. That's what makes us bulldogs. That's what the Bulldog Mindset is. It's fucking pushing through. It's working without motivation. You're gonna have to learn how to do this in life. It's a really, really critical skill, and it sucks. It sucks balls. Believe me, when I was running 20 miles yesterday, I didn't want to run 20 miles, okay? I wanted to take a break, but I'm not gonna fucking do that. You know, every single day, I'm gonna do what I need to get done. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm perfect, doesn't mean that I don't ever fall off the horse, but I get on really fucking fast, okay? That's the key. You know, I'm gonna run out of steam, that's fine. In fact, predict it. Know that you'll run out of steam. This has happened before. You said this is like Groundhog Day. Know that this is going to happen repeatedly, and be prepared for it, right? The thing is, like, I feel like you're almost like, wow, I can't believe I ran out of steam again. You know this is going to happen, so be prepared for it already. You need to be mentally steeling yourself when you're in a good mood, when you're in that motivated perspective, okay? And again, take this the right way, my friend, but when you're in that state, that's when you need to plan for when you're gonna fuck up. You need to plan for when the depression is going to come. You need to plan for when the lack of motivation and the steam's going to run out. And you need to say, I'm going to put in safeguards to do this anyway. I'm going to visualize myself doing this whether I feel like it or not. That's the key. That's what's going to move you past this, right? The reason why you're here right now, the reason why you're stuck, okay, in this Groundhog Day, is because you haven't learned the fucking lesson yet. You need to learn the lesson. What is the lesson here? The lesson here is that you gotta be committed. You gotta keep going, even though you don't have any motivation, even though you don't feel like it, even though you're burnt out, even though you're tired, even though you've run out of steam. You have to keep on running the race. You're in pain, you're tired. You gotta keep on going, whether you feel like it or not. That's the lesson that you're missing here. If you learn this lesson, okay, you will overcome these things. You will overcome the depression. You will overcome the anxiety. You'll overcome the short attention span. All of these things that you've described to me, you will overcome them. You're gonna have to make that commitment. And when you do, all of those things will be fixed. And believe me, I'm telling you from the perspective of someone who's been there, who's been in the Groundhog Day, who's fucked up so many times, but then finally figured it out and realized that the secret, the key, I already had it. All I had to do was just keep on going and not give up. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. If you have not already, join the Bulldog Pack. Click that subscribe button down below and become a fucking Bulldog, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.